Hello there.
Hello, and welcome to Cinema Therapy, Final Destination Edition. This video, we are ranking our Final Destination movies.
This is our ranking of all 6 films, including Bloodlines, that came out a few months ago. I've already posted my ranking kind of the movies, but we haven't done like an official group ranking, so let's do our rankings.
Yay! My favorite Final Destination movie out of all 6 is the second one. Overall, I just think this is the better one. Even though I grew up with the first one, I think the second one was more popular. And the log truck scene was just scarring. Because you just drive. Every day you drive. Everywhere. And the log truck
passed on the freeway all the time.
A log truck passed me one day on the bridge to San Francisco, and I was like, shit, is this my moment? My favorite death scene in this movie is probably the glass that comes down
on Tim the little kid, yeah.
On Tim the kid, that ornery little fucker.
He leaves the dentist, and yeah.
Yeah, he leaves the dentist all cocky and shit. And he's just like, I'm not gonna die.
Yeah. I mean, he chases the pigeons and chases the pigeons.
Splattered.
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah, see, this is my favorite Final Destination movie too. This is my favorite, number 1 as well, is Final Destination 2. Seemingly, this is not the most popular pick, but I think this movie is kind of underrated in the franchise. Not the opening scene, but just as a movie overall. I also am a huge fan of Kimberly. I think Kimberly doesn't get like enough credit in this franchise for being one of the best visionaries. And I really like that character. I love AJ Cook. She's just there's something about her character that's so likable. And I think genuinely psychic. And I think that fits this character so well. And just one of the most expressive characters, I think, in the franchise that's not really discussed a lot. My favorite kill is also Tim's death, because I think that scene is just perfect in the dentist, like the tension building of everything that could go wrong with the oxygen and everything like that. And then he leaves, chases the pigeons, crushed by the glass pane. That was just epic. And so I like this movie just because it combines so many different elements of the other movies that made them all work in their own ways, and I think it took a little bit of everything and kind of combined it in this movie. That's why I think this one's probably my favorite.
And Ali Larter's back.
Yes, and Ali Larter, which we love Clear Rivers. She is also one of my favorite characters too, so gotta have her in it.
Fucking kill her.
I know, that's the only thing I think, actually, I will say that's probably the only thing about this movie that I actually didn't like. A lot of people don't like it for that reason, but that is the thing I think I liked least about this movie, but still great movie. And she was in a good portion of the movie before she died, which was, yeah. I didn't like her death, but at least she was in a lot of the movie, so there's that.
On to number 2. And my number 2 went back and forth between this one and the first one. Because the first one is a classic.
Yeah.
But after a rewatch, and another rewatch, Bloodlines was so good. It made me laugh. It was suspense. Like, I knew what was going to happen, but, like, at the same time, each scene almost was suspenseful, creating that suspense. Kind of like the second one. And, yeah, it's just good.
This is my favorite opening in the franchise. That opening scene, I think a lot of people talk about the like you said, the scene from the second one, the log truck, that was great. This is my favorite opening scene because of the tower collapse. It was so amazing. The whole build up, the characters. And it wasn't like the other ones. It had a lot more depth to the opening. These characters, we had to see them for a while before everything happened. And I love the time period. I loved it being like set in the late 60s, early 70s. That was classic with all the songs they used. Just such a unique and special ambiance for this opening sequence.
And my favorite kill is probably, there's so many good ones.
The little kid.
Okay, and the premonition, the fucking little boy that throws that fucking penny in the goddamn thing. That fucker deserved to die.
Yeah, that was that was so hilarious.
Great.
It was beautiful.
Scene.
It was beautiful.
But it was a premonition.
So it didn't actually happen that way. He dies, but not that way. So
probably I would have to say when what's his bucket gets stuck in
Eric gets pulled
in the MRI machine.
The rods from the wheelchair just pull him into the MRI machine, and he gets that was just gnarly. That was great. That was probably
and it recently happened in real life.
That was great. There's a lot of deaths in this franchise that are a little bit like far-fetched, but they did kind of happen to a degree in real life too. Like they exaggerated, but part of it, these deaths, some of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are somewhat based in reality to an extent too. Which is, I think that's why this franchise is so scary, because either these things can or do happen to people, and I think that's what makes this franchise, I think, that much more scary and that much more unique, which I think is why I love this franchise so much.
So on to his number 2.
Yes, into my number 2. So for my number 2, it was also the same situation as him. It was back and forth between this one and Bloodlines. I actually love Bloodlines so much. I think depending on the day, I could go back and forth, but I think for my rankings, I've said before, I'm going to stick with what I said before, my other rankings. I think the first one might be my second favorite. I feel so torn, but I think the first one just captured that really eerie, like, heavy tone. There was something so like genuinely like dark and creepy about it, and I think it did such a great job of introducing the laws and the rules, and Devon Sawa and Ali Larter, just their characters, their depth as in the story was so real and inspiring, and the score, just the way everything happens. It's not so much just around the deaths itself, it's about the deaths design itself. And I really liked that. My favorite death in this movie would have to be Valerie Luton, the teacher, who, her death, gosh, it was crazy. She plays John Denver again on her record player, and then she spills the tea on the computer, which the glass comes out of the screen, and it gets her in the neck, and then she's bleeding. She pulls the glass out, and then she falls to the floor, tries to grab the wash rag to try to like stop the bleeding, and instead the knives come down and stab her in the chest, and the house explodes. It's just crazy. Devon Sawa walks in and just like he gets his fingerprints all over the knife, tries to help her, and sees her she's dying. That scene is just so elaborate. There's so many details. I don't even know how to like begin to explain that scene, but that's the best I can do, like a quick summary of that death scene. But I think also Todd's death in the beginning with the wire hanger in the shower, that one's also messed up. So yeah, really great.
My third choice was the first one, just because 6 boosted up a bit.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, the first one was phenomenal. Yeah, I saw it in theaters when it first came out in 2000. I know that dates me. But
I wish I could have seen some of the earlier
Devon Sawa, Devon Sawa, Ali Larter, Keir Smith, who was hot off of Dawson's Creek.
Oh yes, Keir Smith. Oh yeah. Great cast.
Just a good cast.
I think I think probably one of the best casts in the franchise too overall.
Yes. And my favorite death in this one, of course, is the teacher, Valerie.
Yeah.
Her death was just completely just like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, it was so layered. Like I said, it's just nuts.
Yeah. So
that's so painful.
So that's my third choice.
And now for my number 3, I know we were kind of went flip-flop on that. I think we're in the same axes though, where we both think that these two movies are kind of like a heads or tails thing. I think depending on the day, I could said this would be my second favorite. I think, gosh, this movie was so excellent. This is the first one I saw in theaters, and I'm so glad it was this one I saw in theaters. Just such a great way to get introduced to this franchise in a theatrical aspect. This movie looked great on the big screen. We also saw it in IMAX. That was killer. The opening sequence of this movie was, I think, my favorite in the franchise, and I think part of it has to do with not only the fact that I thought this opening sequence was acted well, or the costume design, the sound design, everything like that was fantastic and killer too, but also the way that it was in theaters was just so extraordinary, such a special experience. I think if you saw it in theaters, you know what I'm talking about. It was just such a cool thing to watch in theaters. It looked so good. It had some great kills too. This one had a really good cast. I think I felt more attached to the Roundup cast in the first one than this one. However, this one had some really great new kills, like the lawnmower. My favorite kill in this one was Eric as well with the MRI machine. That scene was crazy. All his piercings get pulled off by MRI machine, and that wheelchair penetrates him and impales him, and he gets bent in half and pulled all the way through. That was just gnarly. I think it was the most standout kill in the movie. I think something that none of the other films quite did since the first movie, which was like this whole idea that's a family, and the first one was a bunch of friends that are really close, and this one's like an actual family, and there's so much emotional trauma around that, about losing, like there's this one lady loses her kids, her husband, all in the same week. It's just crazy. Really dark and morbid. I'm laughing, but I messed up. Such a fun mousetrap movie. There are certain things I think that towards the end could have been improved more, but I think it's such a solid movie. And I can see why some people, it's their favorite movie in the franchise. I totally get that. So, anyhow.
Number 4 ranking.
Yes.
Mine is... Well, actually,
both from this point on, our rankings is exactly almost our rankings are almost identical. By the way, you guys.
Final Destination 5 is really good. The best part of this movie, I think, is the ending. When you find out that it's a prequel to the first one.
Oh, yeah.
And they get on that plane that Devon Sawa gets thrown off of. And you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, and then they blow up and die.
Oh, it's crazy.
And
this one also has, I mean, we kind of did it in another movie too, but this one I think did even better, which was like having like one of the main characters go rogue and start try and kill people too. Like, just like having someone being so affected by this in the worst way possible, where it makes them go psycho killer and they just want to like kill everyone else to get more time to stay alive. And I think that was also such a great idea. They kind of introduced it in our movie before this, but this movie like made it that much more like full fleshed out, and it became a full third act piece, which made it all ramped up for tension, and it was so good.
My favorite kill in this, I probably have to say the eyeball.
Yeah, Olivia. There's so many good kills in this movie too. Again, like the second one, there's so many kills in this movie.
the laser eye, and then she falls out the window.
Yeah, Olivia. Yeah, there's a lot of good kills in this movie. A lot of people like the gymnastic kill. I have to say the same thing.
The gymnastic kill was pretty fucking bad.
That was horrible too.
That one didn't look like it hurt. Well, of course she's dead.
It was so instantaneous, but at the same time she was still twitching. For like a good
minute.
That
was a very suspenseful scene though, because you're like, is she gonna step on the nail,
like,
or is she gonna fall off, or is she gonna do this, or is she gonna fly into the fan? Like what the fuck is gonna? And then bam.
Yeah. That was my favorite kill too, and I've had LASIK eye surgery. I think I might have mentioned this when I did my eye ranking. If you see my ranking, you can go check that out on Instagram, or if this is Instagram, you can go check it out. That just created trauma for me, because eye stuff naturally gets to me. The fact that I was also in a LASIK eye surgery machine, like I've had LASIK eye surgery for other reasons. Long story short, oh my gosh, just the idea of like a laser destroying my eyeball, like no thank you. I think vision in general, like losing my vision or just like anything happening to eyes is just too much for me. I don't like it. It's personal fear. And the whole scene, the fact that she trips it, and I also have a fear of heights, so when she trips on the teddy bear eye that she rips out by accident because she's so stressed, like I would be probably too, and then falls out the window to her death, and the eye falls out of her head and gets crushed by the car. Like that was another like a really intense layered death scene that was just so amazing and iconic. And also, this one had a pretty good cast as well. Maybe not as good as some of the other casts in the movies that we mentioned above, but still a really good cast. And I think it managed to do a great prequel type thing that was hidden. It's really important that they didn't like use modern technology, and they don't make it like a thing in the story, but when you watch the whole movie, it makes sense.
Okay, on to the next one.
Yes.
This is number 5.
For both of us, yes.
For both of us. Final Destination 3. This one, with the roller coaster.
Yeah, with Meryl. This one I think is usually one of like a fan favorite. Like this, like people's like favorite or one of their favorites. Mary Elizabeth Winstead was excellent in this movie. And I think she's probably my favorite part of this movie. She is a good crier.
Yes, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is in this movie.
She's a good crier. Is Wendy.
My favorite kill, is that the cherry picker one? Yeah.
Yes.
The one where the cherry picker falls on the asshole.
Yeah, Ian.
Douchebag.
The grungy emo goth guy.
Yeah.
After he snaps and wants to kill Wendy, he's like, "It's you, Wendy, you're dead!" And then the cherry picker crushes him and he gives the middle finger. Dies.
Right.
I think my favorite kill, I love Ashley and Ashley in this movie so much. They're so funny. I think their death's my favorite, just the tanning beds. I think a lot of people say that, but I think their death was like a combination of being so funny and also like genuinely horrific. I love the fact that there's the song Love Roller Coaster playing too. That song's a jam. And then, the hat rack falls on the 2x4, which gets trapped in the chain beds. They burn alive. That scene was because they malfunctioned. That was just great. And then it pans to their coffins. That was funny. So it really is a great movie, but I just think compared to other ones, I didn't quite capture me as much. I think I also have a huge fear of roller coasters, and this movie didn't quite like do anything that subvert my expectations with that. Like It wasn't anything that could have made me that much more afraid than I already was. It was just sort of easy to predict, and one of the openings I felt the least like affected by, because it's just
it was so short.
It could have been a lot more in depth. Like, it was still scary, but I think it could have been a lot scarier and a lot more like full, and it just wasn't. A lot of people that love this movie or love the roller coaster scene, no hate. I think it could have been more, I guess, and I don't think I'm on the same track with a lot of people on this movie being as high up. But it's still a great movie, and the ending is also really good. I think I love the subway thing.
The subway
scene was better, I think, than the opening.
Roller coaster
I think that was a lot better too, in a way that there's all the little like hidden nods to things happening, all the other people's deaths, and she looks around and she knows she's trapped on after her sister gets on the train with them, and yeah, that was good. So
speaking of being on track,
let's go to our last pick.
The last pick.
Yes.
All right, and the final pick.
Our
Final
pick.
Destination.
Yes, number 6
is Final Destination 4 or
The Final Destination.
The Final Destination.
Which it was like the
3D.
It calls itself a requel. It kind of like did a requel thing, but it's not a requel. It's like a sequel, really, because it ties in all the other 3 movies before it at that point. So it's a sequel. It's still very much in line with all your movies. It doesn't do anything different. It's like Scream 5. It's like a requel, but it's not a requel.
Final Destination did it before Scream did.
Yeah, and I think this is more of a sequel than even Scream was, because that one even pretended to be a requel. Like, it did the whole meta thing. This one is just a sequel, and it made itself out to be a requel, which was what I didn't get.
Yeah. This one was pretty lackluster.
Yeah, it was. But a lot of people make this up to be like the worst movie ever. This is really not as bad as some people say it is. It's just the worst movie of this franchise. Which, if you look at movies like I Know What You Lost Somewhere, or like, I don't know, some of the, even, and Halloween's my favorite franchise, and even that has some sequels I think are debatably worse than this.
Even Chucky's got a bad one.
Yeah, Chucky was pretty bad, and also there's also the Child's Play reboot, which was pretty bad too. So I think this is better than some of the other movies in other franchises, which I like. Of the worst sequels in the horror genre, this is like one of the better of the worst. So take that for what you will. Like, when I watch the reruns of the franchise, it's actually still more entertaining than people leave it on to be. Aside from the cheesy 3D effects and the acting not being the greatest, it's still entertaining enough. What is your favorite kill in this movie?
So my favorite kill is the mom with the 2 bratty kids.
Gosh, yeah.
Getting her hair done, her nails, or whatever the fuck she's doing.
Yeah, she's going there for all of her. She's going to date now. She's going like a night with her friends and whatever, and wants to look for
there's
nice.
So much suspense going on. Like, is it going to be the fan? Is it going to be the curling iron? Or is it going to be the shit that blows up? Or,
yeah, she's getting her hair done.
And then the fan falls down and it doesn't kill her and the kids, and you're just like, what the fuck? And then a rock comes flying out of a lawnmower and hits her in the fucking eye.
Yeah.
And doesn't take out the kids.
Got my eye on you.
I'm just like, damn it. But, oh well. That's my favorite kill.
Yeah.
This one had lackluster kills.
And I'm just thinking about this now. I don't think I've ever thought about this before, but the kids were there at the Speedway track and they didn't die. Which means they're still on death's list. No, because in Bloodlines, they talk about family death, so what if they're in the next movie? What if
they died already?
Maybe they'll say
it happened 20 years ago.
It's true. That's crazy. Almost.
It was almost like 15 years ago.
Well, it was 2009, so almost 20 years ago. God, that's crazy. We need to hear about the kids. We need to see them in the next movie, or we need to hear about their death like Alex, which was a BS way for him to go out, but a lot of people don't like the second movie, but it was whatever. I still think the second one's the best. So, I died that bridge. I think my favorite kill is Hunt's death, the douchebag he goes after his penny, which falls in the pool, and then he's such an asshole, he gets sucked through which I don't believe is very believable. It actually
happened.
It happened before.
I don't believe it.
It did happen. There was a little girl who got,
maybe a little girl, but not a full-grown man.
Well, the pool drain's enough.
Bones and all to be completely sucked through a drain.
It wasn't bones. It was just his organs.
So where does bones go?
You can't, through that, you think his bones could come out?
No.
Then I don't know why you're getting, I don't think.
Those bones
tell me if you think down there your bones could come through your him.
Well,
I
if you
doubt
pull
it.
all of his insides out.
Yeah, they're
his
made. They're
bones
soft
and body
insides. They're
should
soft
still
tissue.
be at the bottom of the pool.
Not everything came out, but some. I think his heart and I think a couple other major organs. I think it's believable enough. Yeah, the thing in this franchise in general is suspended
some
belief.
of the most
Like-
weirdest deaths
Well, like-
you could ever think
Well,
of.
like what about in 6? Like our favorite death is Eric, and with the MRI machine folded
that
in
just
half.
really happened in real life.
But that's also extreme. Like to be on high settings, it's all of these deaths are somewhat suspended. Even if they actually happen, this franchise finds a way to make them more theatrical than they would really be because we're trying to make people afraid of deaths. So you have to have some suspension of belief when you watch these movies.
But yeah, Final Destination Bloodlines is going to be streaming on HBO Max now or soon.
Go watch all the movies. I think they have a 6 film collection now on Blu-ray and DVD. I think Hunseth was so funny and just like he deserved it. It was great.
Yeah, go watch all the Final Destination movies.
And this one too. This one's so good.
Yes, well, you have to.
Enough. It's the weakest of the franchise, but it's still good. And please give us a Final Destination 7.
Oh, they
After
are.
success of 6, have they already confirmed it?
They've already confirmed it.
Oh, then here we go.
Yay.
Yay.
Anyways, check out videos for more.
I can't wait. I have theories about that. We should do a theory video. Anyhow, see you guys later and don't die.
Like and follow for more.
And like and follow for more. Don't die. Bye.
Bye.